I was asked to show an update on the CRT TV setup here in the kitchen. I'm gonna warm up some pizza to have a little snack before I finish the activities for this evening, and I was gonna watch this while I do so. So I figured this is good enough time to record that video. Here's the pizza. This is chicken and ham pizza. It's supposed to simulate a chicken cordon bleu dish. It's a pretty good invention. It is currently the frozen, so this might take some time. This isn't good. Yep, that is definitely going to take some time. We'll have to do that kind of delicately. So I've had this TV in here for about 3 or 4 weeks now, I think, maybe a little bit less than that. I used it a good number of times. I never used to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, but now that I've got the backsplash up and I've installed the lighting, and this looks a lot nicer in the kitchen now. I've been in here a little more often for activities other than just preparing the food. And now, of course, there's this novelty. So I've been using this a couple times a week. So we got there's a power bar here which will turn on. I'll turn on the computer, which is still this one. I'll probably never bother to change it. It just doesn't really matter. And then we can turn on the set. And somewhat surprisingly, this has worked 100% of the time, first shot, just perfectly, which is not exactly what I was expecting. You know, this older equipment is more reliable than what you can get today, in the sense that, you know, this TV is going to last longer than any ones you can buy today. This TV is over 20 years old and it's always worked perfectly. But the problem is it's becoming harder and harder to use this older stuff due to the changes in compatibility, and the configurations get a little dodgy because you're converting things and changing signals and all this stuff. And so unfortunately, even though the equipment itself is more reliable, the methods to continue to use it at this point in time are not always. But so far, this has worked really good. That little adapter box, it can be off for days, and you turn it on and it comes right back up where it was set. It keeps all the settings and it just plain works. So go ahead and log in here. The audio is still mono. It does not seem to be a problem. You know, if we were playing music on this, then it would be a problem, but for the majority of the videos that I watch on here, half of them are probably recorded in mono anyways, and it's just not an issue. Unfortunately, it's like impossible to record CRT displays. So there's going to be a horrible amount of banding, and you know, the picture's going to look weird. The unit itself looks fantastic up here. This kitchen was designed to kind of model the 2000s, maybe the late 90s. And this blends right in. This is a 2002 model. So it's period correct. It looks great with everything else. It looks like it could have been here for 20 years. I think what's been most interesting to me about using this is how good the picture quality is. You know, from back here, I can read the date and time. It says 7:56 p.m., 11/18/2025. Now, if you go up close to it, it's not as clear as an LCD display is, but this one is also not meant to be looked at close up. This is not a monitor, this is a TV. It's meant to be viewed from, quite a few feet back. But even running the computer with small text, it is still readable. I can read the names of the icons. I can read the temperature and the core temp thing. It's quite remarkably clear. I've heard a lot of people over the years say, oh, the CRT TVs don't have a good picture. And I've heard it about VHS tapes. Oh, the VHS doesn't have a good picture. And it's just not true. It's not an accurate statement. CRT displays can be very sharp. In fact, I would argue they probably have better coloring than the LCD and LED stuff that followed it for many years. And the VHS tapes are pretty good. It's like anything else. If you buy a piece of garbage TV set, then yeah, the picture wasn't very good. Or if you bought a piece of junk camera and you bought a piece of junk VHS tape and you bought a piece of junk VCR, then sure, the picture quality wasn't very good. But if you had a good quality VCR and a good quality video camera and a good quality tape and everything was in good working order, you got a pretty good picture. I am old enough to remember when CRT TVs were the standard. I grew up in the 2000s and this is what we had. There was nothing else. I remember we got a plasma TV in the late 2000s, I guess, sometime around then. And if I recall correctly, I don't remember what the issues were, but I think it had a couple malfunctions in the short period of time that we used it. I don't think we had that set for very long. Meanwhile, we had this set since 2002, and we had that Sony Trinitron set. We used that up until the early 2010s, and it was still working when it changed owners. It was never discarded. It could have been now. I don't know what happened to it now, but when we gave it away, it was still working perfectly. These TV sets are very reliable, and they just plain work. But anyways, the early digital video, let's say, digital video cameras, like consumer grade stuff, when it first came out was a lot lower quality than tapes were at the time. And I feel like a lot of people that aren't old enough to remember when tapes and these types of TVs were standard seem to think that, oh, that digital quality, like I remember 240p, 140p on YouTube, people think, oh, that's what tapes must have looked like. But it's not. The tapes were landslides better than digital video when digital video was in its infancy. And it really wasn't until mid to late 2000s, I would say, that consumer grade equipment in the digital era started to surpass the quality of the analog tapes. The analog tapes were very good quality for, the 90s and 2000s era. It was a really good quality image, all things considered, especially now that it's, 40 something years old. It's a really aging technology. And to me, it's interesting to look back 20, 30 years ago and say, wow, the picture was already that clear that, at that time. And that's what we see here. This picture is really quite clear. I just remembered I left a battery outside, which is not good. A power tools battery. I was working on building a table tonight, and the batteries kept freezing on me. So I had brought them in to charge it. Oh, no, it's not out here. Did I bring it in and forget where I put it once I brought it in? Yep, that's what happened. It's right here. Okay, good. So it's not out in the cold. This battery, power tool battery. I need to charge this up. So anyways, the picture quality on this television set is great. And surprisingly enough, the adapter works great. It's reliable. It's got decent clarity. It's got good coloring to it. And this just plain works. So we turn it on and Everything is set up as it is. We launch the browser. And it does get a little wonky trying to use the browser because the resolution that I'm using is 600 by 800, which is, I guess, not the recommended one. I think that the actual resolution I was told of the screen is 640 by 480, I think it was said. I don't remember, whatever it was. I think the letter H told me what it was, but I don't remember what it is. So I guess we're feeding in a slightly higher resolution than the set itself actually is, but it's drawing it just fine, and it's clear, and you know, it's fine. So yeah, it works great. So I'm going to bring up a video that I saw. I mean, I can even read all these different channels clearly. You know, the text isn't the best, but it's definitely readable. I saw that this video came out recently. Not this one, that's a stinking ad. So is
so
this.
handsome.
I can't let.
I've been meaning to watch this video. I remember watching this video probably, what, 15 years ago when he did the first video. And now he's doing a remake. So I might watch this while I have dinner.
Seen up close since the last video I made of it.
You can hear the audio is perfectly good.
Seems to be a J-hook, as I also mentioned in the old video.
So that's pretty much all there is to see here. The audio is great, the picture is great, and you know, the audio is a standout on these older television sets because these actually had pretty good drivers in them. A lot of the newer television sets, even though the picture is arguably better, and you can put a million quotes around that word, the audio is awful. The audio has gone downhill on television sets so badly. And I don't understand, like, what is it with the audio on stuff today? Like, the audio on the stupid iPhone blows. The audio on the TV sets is garbage. Like, do people not think the audio is important anymore? Audio is very important. And so these older TVs having better audio is huge in this application as well. Because with the old television set I had here, the audio was so bad I had to have an external set of speakers hooked up. And now there's no reason for that. And it gets plenty loud too. Now I wouldn't listen to music through this necessarily, but in terms of voice, you know, and some background music maybe, you know, in a program, this is totally satisfactory. So I'm very glad that I installed this in here. It's super nostalgic. So somewhat surprisingly, it works very well. And it's been 100% reliable, which is extremely surprising to me. How long that'll be the case for, I have no idea. But as of now, that little converter box thing has been a great solution. It looks like my pizza is almost ready. So I'm going to go ahead and eat that and watch this video.